I like things that are easy. I like things that make me feel comfortable. If I'm given the choice between doing something that I enjoy or something I don't enjoy, then obviously I'm going to pick, let's do something that's enjoyable. And I think we all would. I mean, if given the choice to follow a path that's easy, comfortable, and enjoyable, who among us would not sign up for that path? And perhaps that is what makes this time of year both challenging and deeply needed in our lives. Because Lent, the 40 days leading up to Easter, is all about choosing to follow Jesus and the choice he made not to take the easy, the comfortable, and the enjoyable path. He chose the way of the cross. Of course, the question to ask is why? He chose the difficult journey, of course, out of love for all of God's creation. He chose the path of suffering so that in our suffering, we might know his presence, both in the suffering and then to have the hope that he will lead us through it. He chose to die so that we can live. And this time of year, he asks us to do what is just totally counterintuitive and choose the road less traveled for ourselves. To follow him, to trust him enough to follow him, and taking a hard look in the mirror and confessing our own sin. Not worrying about the sins of others, but confessing our own. To lean into our suffering and to seek him in it, not just relief from it. To quit making life only about my ease and my comfort and my enjoyment and ask God to show me how I might lose in some way so that somebody else might win, whether I think they deserve it or not. This is a time of year when we learn a lesson that makes no sense in this world, and that is how to consider ourselves blessed, not only in the good gifts that God gives, but even in the face of trials and persecution. And Jesus says this way in Matthew chapter 5, verse 10. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. He goes on to say, blessed are when people insult you and persecute you and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. For in the same way, they persecuted the prophets who were before you. And so Jesus turns things around and says, listen, real blessing comes when you're not only willing to trust God where life is easy and comfortable and enjoyable, but when you learn to see and experience God and trust him and follow his lead where life is anything but easy, comfortable, and enjoyable. And that's the journey that Jesus invites us to take with him to the cross as we prepare then for the full joy of Easter.